Nature is striking in its diversity. Survival of the strongest is the harsh truth of life that millions of living beings have to put up with. But sometimes things happen that amaze the imagination because as much as nature is cold-blooded, it can also be merciful. Let's look at some very amazing cases where animals helped each other in mortal danger. If you help your neighbor in need, then subscribe to the channel and express your opinion in the comments. The young eagle apparently had seen enough of the National Geographic Channel and rushed down like a bullet when it saw a chicken with her children. Mother chicken reacted with lightning speed, giving a hard rebuff to the eagle. The eagle, looking at the chicken, probably thought, "What the hen are you?" Monkey and monkey. Here the monkey was severely electrocuted and fell unconscious on the train tracks. Suddenly another monkey ran up to it and began to help. Dipping into the water and helping the relative in every possible way, it managed to save the friend. A crow flew into the bear's enclosure. It is not clear what happened to the bird, but somehow it ended up in the pool. There was no way to get out, and at the moment the clumsy owner of the enclosure came to the rescue. With a slight movement of the paw, the bear rescues the crow. After a while, it came to its senses, dried itself, and flew about its business. Who knows, maybe the bear just didn't want to have dead birds in his pool. The cow ran up to the man who was trying to grab its newly born calf. Even if the man did not want to harm the calf, the mother did not allow anyone to touch its child. The kitten fell into a hole and could not get out on a slippery slope. Fortunately, an adult cat passed by, which decided to help the poor fellow. In a couple of jumps, it was near the baby, took it in its teeth, and successfully got out of the trap. So, to no avail, the dog is trying to revive most likely the recent catch of its owners. Well, compassion is available to everyone, from gray mice to clumsy bears. A little monkey was running at the edge of the water and suddenly fell down. The edge is too steep to climb onto land. There are stones everywhere, and it will be impossible for a little monkey to get out alone. Fortunately, the mother heard the cry of her baby and ran to the rescue. She pulled the baby ashore. The poor sparrow hit the window of the house and unconsciously fell to the ground. But the other sparrow did not leave his friend in trouble and tried to revive him. After a while, the bird regained consciousness and they both flew off for a walk. Here we can observe how a rat furiously beats off its own kind from a hungry snake. But cheek brings success. The stubbornness of the rodent knew no bounds, and in the end the reptile had to hastily retreat. Hungry lions went hunting, and they immediately managed to beat off the mother with her cub from the herd. The lions were already arguing among themselves about how much meat each would get. But then other horns came to the rescue and drove the lions away like restless kittens. The cheetah caught the antelope and was already sitting down to eat. But the monkeys apparently did not like the cheetah's cuisine and they decided to catch it and beat it up. But fortunately, the cheetah managed to carry its paws away, and during this time the antelope came to senses and went home. The little elephant stumbled and fell into the pond. The body of water is deep enough that he could easily drown in it. But the adult elephants immediately became active and went into the pond to push the baby elephant to the shallows and so help him get out. The lion decided to attack the buffalo. The buffalo tried to defend itself for some time, but in the end it lost its strength and the lion clung to it. It seemed that it could not be saved. However, suddenly an elephant ran up to help it and gave the poor buffalo another chance to live. The elephant drove the lion away and approached the buffalo. It began to pour mud on him so that it would come to its senses and stand up. Incredible friendship between a kitten and a puppy. The dog is locked in a cage, but the cat does not want to leave his friend. It tries its best to help free him. Incredibly, after a while the kitten succeeds. Another incredible case. The snake caught the frog and almost swallowed it. However, the frog was quite large and strong. The snake rushed into the water with the frog in the hope that the frog would have no chance there. But suddenly another frog jumped out of the water and hit the snake on the head. The snake opened its jaws and the first frog was saved. Wild dogs live and hunt in groups, and during one hunt, they drove one buffalo to such an extent that it lost all its strength and fell. But its relative, another buffalo, stood nearby and guided the poor fellow from wild dogs to the end. Finally, the dogs themselves got tired and left. A young zebra can't handle the current. All attempts to approach the shore were unsuccessful. But at some point, an adult hippo intervened in the situation. It helped the striped horse swim to a small island, rest, and then get ashore. Usually cats are afraid of dogs, but not in this story. The dog attacked the boy, pulling him off his bike like a toy. At that moment, a cat ran out. It rushed at the dog like a lion, knocking it off its paws and thereby forcing it to retreat from the child. Then the cat ran up to the child to protect it further. A fox attacked a domestic goose, but the goose was very smart. It realized that it had to run up to the dog and hide behind it. Who knows, maybe then the goose let the dog off the chain. A cunning fox noticed goslings while walking. It immediately ran to them, realizing that they were easy prey. But suddenly Daddy Goose appeared and rebuffed the red muzzle. The fox tried to attack several times, but all its attacks were repelled by Daddy Goose, so the fox had to leave hungry. The hyenas prayed and saw a lonely old lion. Deciding that it was God who sent them food, a flock of hyenas gathered and went to eat it. But then, out of nowhere, another lion runs up to help his friend. The hyenas immediately understood everything and retreated.
We can see Kip and William are chasing around, and you can see that it's a playful interaction because William actually has a play face.
Our younger brothers know firsthand what mutual help and care are. It seems that they simply cannot get past someone who is in trouble. Although animals do not have the same level of consciousness as humans, they do have a big heart. This only proves that once again, love is more important than intelligence. Love comes first, always and everywhere. Well, at the end of the video, we want to show you another interesting case, how a wild zebra made friends with a donkey on a farm. A zonkey is a hybrid cross from a zebra mom and a donkey dad. They are extremely rare in nature, as these species usually do not show interest in each other. But love knows no boundaries. You will love a donkey when you have to. In the East Tsavo National Park in Kenya, one of the zebras strayed from the herd and got lost. It came across a local farm and decided to live there for a while. Zebra nestled with local cows and spent several weeks with them. Then, employees of the David Sheldrick Wildlife Foundation arrived at the farm and moved the animal to a more suitable place. The zebra seemed happy to be back in the wild, but soon the locals began to notice it again on the farm. And once it came back not alone, but with a cub, and with a very unusual one. Zebras usually give birth to babies covered with white and brown stripes, which gradually turn into the usual black and white pattern. But this zebra had stripes only on the legs. From above, it didn't look like its mother at all and resembled another animal, a donkey. According to the foundation, the frivolous zebra started a romantic relationship while living on a farm, and by the time it was moved, it was already pregnant. This also explained the fact that even after the move, it continued to come to the village. Despite the fact that dad and mom belong to different types of animals, their child of love looks quite healthy. It is not yet known how the hybrid will be accepted by other zebras if the mother decides to return to the herd, but everyone on the farm treats it very well. The unusual baby has become a local landmark. Residents from neighboring villages come to the farm. Everyone wants to look at this miracle and take a photo with it. The zebra and its baby zonkey still live nearby. Something is stopping the mom from leaving the farm and going into the wild. Perhaps love